The 3 wolves I saved wanted me in bed every single day. But the truth is, they didn't like me. They just wanted to use me to get close to my sister. So I called her and asked to switch mates. 3 horny wolves in exchange for 1 cold serpent. Today, after being fully claimed, I fell into sound sleep.
God, look at her. That body, that stamina.
And she thought she could handle 3 of us.
Doesn't matter. The second she taps out, she'll hand us off to her sister.
She can't even get out of bed right now. A few more days of this and she'll give up on us for good.
The conversation from the living room kept going. They thought I was still asleep. I kept my eyes low, watching the marks on my wrists and legs in the amber glow of the bedside lamp. Every single one of them unmistakable.
She's not gonna hand all 3 of us over to her sister. Right, which means at least one of us stays. Ugh, Elena's dull and boring. You wanna stay? Go ahead, I don't. Same. Whatever. Fate decides. Is she up yet?
No way. She was crying so hard she nearly passed out. She's not waking up anytime soon.
So weak. Let's get her up in a bit. A few more days of this and she'll give up on us.
My vision went dark. I reached for my phone, face pale, and called Chloe. She picked up fast.
What's wrong, sis? Weren't you just saying you were unsatisfied? Take all 3 of mine.
Give me that celibate snake shifter of yours.
Is that okay? Are they willing?
They like you.
She understood because it was the truth. Everyone liked Chloe more.
Alright, your place is small anyway, not really ideal for them. But my snake shifter, sis, he's cold. If he weren't celibate, I wouldn't have asked for him in the first place. I'm completely wrecked. I just need someone to handle the housework. I just hope he doesn't turn out like these 3 wolves.
Don't worry. I haven't managed to tame him yet. He's not going to be interested in you.
I'll come pick them up this afternoon.
The line went dead. That exact second, the bedroom door swung open.
You're up?
He crossed the room and reached for my blanket.
Wait!
What is it, mistress?
I'm exhausted. I need to rest.
Can't do that, he said easily. Mistress, you took us in. That means you're responsible for us. We're nowhere near satisfied. If you rest, what are we supposed to do?
Chloe's coming to take all of you this afternoon.
He went still. The 2 leaning in the doorway froze too.
Which 2 of us?
All of you.
I found the 3 wolf pups on a wet, gray afternoon. They were collapsed on the concrete, fur matted, blood-soaked from the rain. I almost walked away, but then one of them flicked its tail, just twice, slow and weak, then curled it around my ankle. I couldn't leave them. I brought them home. Under my care, they recovered fast. A few months later, they hit their maturation phase, and all 3 of them shifted into men. I should have brought them to a shifter registry, but the registry told me they'd already bonded, recognized me completely as their owner. Releasing them without care would cause serious psychological harm. I looked at those 3 pairs of beautiful eyes and caved. I let them stay. They said they had no names, so I gave them some, oldest to youngest. Ethan, Eric, Evan. Young, hot-blooded wolf shifters with energy to burn. Even in human form, they couldn't stop their ears and tails from flickering, clinging to me every hour of every day. Then one afternoon, Chloe called.
Sis, aren't you going to come home for the arranged marriage?
The man has had 3 wives die on him, and he's ugly.
But his family has money.
I looked away. That was exactly why my family had cut me off after I fought the arrangement. They couldn't bring themselves to send Chloe in my place, so instead they applied steady, relentless pressure on me. Eric, who always read the room perfectly.
Don't like the call? Hang up.
What was that voice?
I took the opening to change the subject.
I rescued 3 injured wolf pups a while back. They just shifted recently and they won't leave me alone. We can barely keep up.
A few seconds of silence.
I'm honestly jealous. My snake shifter won't even let me touch him. He'll warm up eventually.
Chloe just gave a soft, unconvinced hum. The next day, she showed up at my door with bags upon bags. She wore a pretty little white dress, beaming at me.
Surprise, sis.
I turned around. All 3 shifters' eyes went straight to her. I quietly turned back. I was used to it, honestly. Everyone gravitated toward Chloe. She was radiant and magnetic. Every gesture, every smile pulled at people without even trying. Standing next to her, I felt exactly like what I was, plain and unremarkable. Chloe glanced around.
Your apartment is so much smaller than the family estate. Is there even enough room for them? It's fine.
Then I watched Ethan, usually disinterested in everything, let his gaze drift to Chloe. Eric's devastating smile turned itself on her instead. Even Evan, the moody one, propped his head up to stare at her. his wolf ears flickering non-stop. Chloe didn't seem to notice. She sipped her water with perfect innocence. In that moment, I knew. My things were about to drift quietly toward Chloe again. After that, the gentle, clingy warmth disappeared. They became crueler, like they wanted me destroyed, like they couldn't stop themselves. Until I heard their conversation, I'd been right all along. One look at Chloe, and they'd fallen. The afternoon came fast. A knock at the door. Chloe arrived. The silence that had settled over the apartment deepened into something heavier.
You're really giving all three of us to her?
Yes.
Not keeping one for yourself?
Which of you wants to stay with me?
The air curdled. No one answered. Finally, Evan got up and went to open the door. He rolled his eyes, a flick of contempt on his face.
Stop pretending to be decent, both of you.
Chloe's bright smile filled the frame.
Hi, boys. My sister already explained things, right? You all belong to me now.
Hey there, new mistress.
Chloe looked him over with satisfaction, then let her gaze sweep across Eric and Ethan.
You're all gorgeous. Did you pack? Actually, never mind. I'm sure my sister couldn't afford to buy you much anyway. We'll get everything new at the villa.
Ethan gave a lazy murmur of agreement. Eric glanced at Chloe, then slid his eyes over to me. I kept my face blank. Every set of eyes in the room landed on me at once. Chloe noticed. She walked up to me.
Don't worry, sis. I'll take better care of them. And when you're done playing house, just come home and do the arranged marriage. Stop stressing mom and dad.
Arranged marriage? What arranged marriage?
Chloe didn't explain. She studied my expression. Nothing there.
Maybe one of them should stay with you. You seem upset.
Evan didn't move from Chloe's side. Ethan leaned against the wall, bored. Eric's smile stayed thin and cool. No one spoke. Chloe wasn't surprised. She gave me a small, comforting smile. Between the two of us, I was never the one who got chosen. We'd both made peace with that a long time ago.
And him?
At my words, Chloe's posture barely shifted. Then she turned towards the door.
Come in!
Heavy footsteps. A man stepped forward, tall, with an almost aggressive stillness to him. The next second, I was looking directly into a pair of dark, shadow-filled eyes.
Hello.
His gaze came from above, sticky, appraising. I broke out in goosebumps. He didn't acknowledge me.
He's just like this, sis. If it's too much, tell me and I'll take him back.
Who is he?
Chloe clearly didn't want to explain. I didn't know where to begin either. She smiled and pivoted.
The car's waiting downstairs. Shall we?
The wolves were quiet for a beat, then didn't push further. They followed Chloe out on long strides. The snake shifter stayed. I was about to close the door when Eric looked back at me, something unreadable in his face, and the man beside me suddenly contracted his pupils into a smooth tail wound around my waist. A strange, overwhelming scent burst through the air.
You're in heat!
But his tail cushioned the impact. It didn't hurt. His breath spilled across my neck. My skin broke into shivers. Then, sharp knocking at the door. Eric's
Elena?
voice from outside.
Are you okay?
My fingers stirred. The pale, cold gold vertical pupils staring down at me seemed to darken. The coil around my waist tightened. I didn't reach for the door.
Are you in pain? Let me get you some heat suppressants, okay?
The pressure around me paused. The mating scent that had been thickening stopped spreading. More knocking, harder now. Chloe's voice, uncertain.
Sis? Are you both okay in there?
I thought I'd calmed him down. I let out a breath. I was about to speak, a coldness at my neck. He bit me, not soft, like claiming something, and yet beneath it, a trace of something almost indulgent. I muffled a sound. My voice came out slightly adrift.
We're fine. You can go.
Ethan's drawl.
You sure?
She said she's fine.
Evan cut in, impatient. Then, a beat later,
Elena, that snake didn't hit you, did he?
No.
I bit my lower lip. Behind my neck, a cool tongue traced over the mark. Good thing the door had closed in time. The scent hadn't drifted out. The footsteps faded. I pushed the snake shifter off and didn't let myself look at his tail. I rummaged quickly for the heat suppressants. The same ones I'd used on Ethan, Eric, and Evan during their heat cycles, when it became too much, even for me. Plenty left. I tossed them to him, then went to wash my face. When I came back to the living room, his tail was gone. The man was draped across the couch, long legs crossed, expression back to its cold, shuttered default. He glanced up at me.
I thought you were
I started, confused.
celibate.
His voice was low and rough.
It's a theological response. It's been too long since my last suppressor.
Knowing Chloe's personality, if she'd actually wanted to sleep with him, she wouldn't have kept him on suppressants. And judging by what had just happened, it wasn't like he could hold back indefinitely. So how had he been managing before? But if he didn't want to say, I wasn't going to pry. I poured a glass of warm water and handed it to him.
Rest today. You can help with the housework tomorrow, and if you need more recovery time, take it.
He cut me off.
You treated them the same way?
I blinked. Them. He meant Ethan and the others. I was quiet for a second, then nodded. Equality between pure humans and shifters was the standard now, technically, but given a shifter's nature, the bonding, the recognition of owners, there was always emphasis on extending extra consideration to them. Long quietness.
My name is Vance.
I registered it and smiled.
Nice to meet you. I'm Elena.
He stood, expressionless, and walked toward the balcony.
The bedroom isn't that way. Wait, are you going to jump? If you don't like it here, I can ask Chloe to take you.
I rushed after him, found him bent over the washing machine, pulling out clean laundry, piece by piece, hanging it to dry. Eric had put my clothes in the wash that morning. He hadn't taken them out before he left. I watched Vance's long fingers handle my clothes and scratched my cheek.
I'll buy a dryer in a few days, then you won't have to do this.
Vance said nothing. I never got the chance to buy that dryer. The next morning, an uninvited guest appeared. The Ashford Estates butler stood at my door with measured deference.
Miss, your father says you've had enough time. It's time to return and proceed with the arranged marriage.
No.
The butler smiled.
Miss, this is the wish of both the master and madam.
He stepped aside. Several bodyguards materialized behind him. I laughed coldly.
Aren't you worried I'll stab the man with a knife on the wedding day and then kill myself?
The butler's expression faltered.
The master said, should you agree to the marriage, you will receive 5% of the Ashford Group shares.
My hand on the door went still. The butler seemed to have anticipated exactly this.
The car is waiting downstairs. Also, the second miss asked that you bring Mr. Vance along.
I glanced back at Vance. We made eye contact. His dark eyes were as unreadable as ever. Yet somehow, a chill crawled down my spine. Back at the Ashford estate, the entire first floor. Just Ethan, Eric, and Evan. The atmosphere was awkward. Evan set down his game controller and glanced up, eyes tracking from me to Vance. Ethan drawled,
Why are you here?
It's my house. Can I come back?
Ethan's expression didn't change, but the corner of his mouth curved up slightly. I stared. Eric set down the fruit he'd been arranging and walked toward me.
Chloe said you refused to come home for months, and now you show up. Did you miss us?
I stepped back. Before I could speak, Evan scoffed.
Don't even wonder. Without us, she couldn't last a day.
She doesn't look particularly heartbroken to me.
Ethan's eyes snapped up.
Who asked you?
A sharp, hostile energy surged through the room. I reached back quickly and pressed my hand over Vance's, cool beneath my palm, trying to calm him, the same as yesterday. Wolves and snakes were both apex-level shifters. If they actually fought, it wouldn't end clean.
What, you brought him here to make us jealous? Snakes are cold-blooded, and from what Chloe says, this one's worse than most. No feelings at all. You don't actually think you can change him, do you?
Then, Eric grabbed my jaw, fingers tight, uncomfortably tight. His stare locked onto my neck, the mark from last night. His voice came down slow and deliberate.
What's that? A hickey?
That single sentence detonated. Evan unfolded himself from the couch, pulling that sharp grin.
Come again?
Then a cool hand yanked me behind him. Vance smiled, barely.
Back off.
Eric's expression hardened.
What did you just say?
The tension in the room snapped taut. Then Chloe came down from upstairs, all brightness.
I could hear you from my room. What's going on? They think the mark on my neck is a hickey. They seem unhappy about it and want to investigate.
Predictably, Chloe's smile flickered. Her gaze settled on my neck.
So is it? What do you think?
I deflected. She didn't answer. Silence. Ethan sauntered over, hands in his pocket.
You always covered marks like that. Why show it today?
Probably because I don't consider this a hiccup.
That seemed to click for the others. Evan blinked.
Now that you mention it, you used to cover everything.
Eric's eyes narrowed.
Sis, father wants you in his study. You don't need to follow her up.
I slipped my hand quietly from Vance's grip and paused. I looked back at the room.
Don't give him trouble.
We give him trouble? Elena, in your eyes,
I
we're...
turned and walked away before he could finish. Silence behind me.
Register the marriage first. Hold the wedding after.
Father leaned back in his chair and sipped his tea.
Once everything is settled, I'll transfer the 5%.
I didn't hesitate.
I want the shares the moment the certificate is signed.
The teacup hit the saucer hard. The lines around his eyes deepened with irritation.
You really have that little faith in your own family?
I sighed.
I'm just worried Chloe might throw a fit and my share disappears again.
He flinched, visibly. The irritation held, but after a long beat, he relented.
Come back with your husband and the marriage certificate.
It said everything about what my compliance meant to them, and beyond that, this share transfer would also serve as a gesture of loyalty to the man I was marrying. After all, assets acquired during marriage get split between spouses. I didn't comment on any of that, and stood to leave.
You'll stay at the estate until the wedding. No wandering off. And those shifters, cut that off before the ceremony.
I came back downstairs to the same quiet. I walked over to Vance. I also had something to say to him.
Let me show you my room.
Evan looked at me suspiciously.
You haven't been back in months. What's there to see?
Want to come too?
Who said I did?
Chloe was picking through the fruit bowl.
Father's still home. Maybe it's not appropriate.
Her voice was deliberate.
You have 3 shifters with you. I'm bringing one to my room. What exactly is inappropriate?
We never...
You make a fair point, sis. But Vance still has to be willing.
Every pair of eyes in the room turned to the man with the perfectly unreadable face.
Let's go.
I nodded and gestured for him to follow. Whatever the others looked like behind me, I didn't care to check. My room was white and minimal, clean. Someone had kept it dusted. I cleared my throat, ready to speak. Something coiled around my waist, the tail.
Your scent is so strong here.
I haven't lived here in months. It's still that strong?
Something dangerous spread through the air. I genuinely feared he'd consume me, his sharp teeth dragged against my collarbone.
You just took a suppresses yesterday. I brought you up here to tell you something. I'm getting married.
Vance didn't release me the way I expected. Instead, his tail coiled tighter, and I was lifted and dropped onto the bed. He loomed over me. Then his tail slipped beneath the hem of my shirt. I grabbed it on instinct, then looked away fast. He watched me, gaze darkening.
You dislike me?
No, that's not...
Aren't you my owner?
Shadow fell over me.
Or are you afraid?
Honestly, a little. First, snakes were notoriously insatiable. Snake shifters, even more so. If Chloe hadn't said he was celibate, I never would have asked for him. Second, certain things were simply too much.
But I really am getting married, so I'll probably need to give you back to Chloe for now. She won't be marrying anytime soon.
Something moved behind Vance's eyes at last. Right as something brutal flickered across his gaze, I asked quietly,
Do you wanna go back to Chloe?
Have I made you miserable?
No, you're actually pretty proactive about the housework.
The next second, he lowered himself over me, his shadow swallowing everything.
Then don't even think about getting rid of me.
I was quiet. Then I reached out and gently touched his tail.
Don't worry.
About what, exactly? I shook my head inwardly. I had a plan already. A few days later, a private room at a cafe. I took a calm sip of coffee. I looked across the table and cut straight to the point.
I know you're in love with Chloe.
He looked up, surprised, set his phone down.
I also know you've been approaching our family with a marriage proposal. You want Chloe, but they keep deflecting you with the excuse that the eldest daughter has to marry first.
Who wouldn't prefer your sister? She's not indifferent to me either. She just says she won't compete with you because you liked me first.
I have a way to get you what you want.
What way?
We get a fake marriage certificate. If Chloe really does feel something for you, she'll get jealous when she sees us together, right?
A fake certificate?
People only realize what they want when they think they're losing it. If you act close to me, let her see it, she'll be devastated. Then, at the ceremony itself, I disappear. No bride. She won't be able to stand watching you humiliated in front of everyone. She'll step in. Then you tell her it's always been her. Have a ring ready, something chosen just for her. She'll be moved.
That's not wrong.
I know we'd never make each other happy. You love Chloe that deeply and she feels something for you. I'd rather the two of you get to be happy.
Miss Ashford, I misjudged you. I had no idea you were so generous.
As long as you're both happy.
The day I came home with the marriage certificate and my fake husband, the entire Ashford family was seated at the dining table. Everyone's face said something different. The news about the arranged marriage had already spread through the household. I caught Vance's eye from across the room, a small, reassuring look. His expression was flat, but I could feel it. The suppressed hostility simmering underneath, the faint darkness around him. It was fine. Once everything was resolved, I had a place for him in what came next. I gave him a small, calm smile from across the room. He glanced at me once, then looked away. When I slipped into the kitchen to help carry dishes, Eric was at the sink.
You don't like him.
Who?
Your husband.
Eric smiled pleasantly.
Elena, ask me nicely and I'll help you run.
I looked at him. He clarified.
The other two are on board too.
The other two, Ethan and Evan. That explained why all three of them had been off today. Eric's voice dropped, just a shade too deliberate.
You don't want to spend the rest of your life with someone you don't even like, do you?
Mind your own business.
You'll regret this, Elena.
Regret?
After dinner, Chloe chatted brightly with my fake husband, effortless and radiant. I slipped away to the study alone and signed the share transfer documents. Next week, the grand wedding, and the show was just getting started. The days before the wedding, I was perfectly calm. I tried on jewelry. The estate, meanwhile, had developed its own sustained low-pressure system. Even Chloe, who normally at least maintained the pretense of civility, stopped by to take a shot.
Didn't expect 5% of the shares to be enough to break you.
I had no reaction. That seemed to infuriate her more.
Do you know how much I'll have eventually? When father's gone, all of it comes to me.
I paused. I actually looked at her. She looked satisfied.
Jealous?
The filial piety in this household is truly something. I couldn't help but think.
Pathetic.
Evan kept his face blank. Eric nodded. Ethan scrolled through his phone and said nothing. Pathetic? Are they talking about me? I didn't care what they thought. I was watching Vance. He wasn't as dark as I'd expected. He just lifted his gaze, and those black, fathomless eyes met mine. That's when I realized it. When his eyes weren't carrying that cold hostility, they were beautiful. The shape subtle, the outer corners lifting just slightly, an unintentional, almost lazy quality to the look. The wedding day arrived. The city's most prestigious hotel. Over 30,000 white roses cascading from the ceiling, crystal chandeliers threading through the waterfall of petals, long tables draped in ivory jacquard, champagne flutes standing in neat rows, catching the light with a faint golden tint. Every detail was breathtaking. Big budget. I took one look, then was ushered into the backstage dressing room. Over the next 3 hours, the guest list filled. From backstage, I heard the steady murmur of congratulations. My parents appeared several times to confirm I was still there and cooperating. I looked at myself in the mirror, flawless makeup. Then I checked the clock. The ceremony was about to begin. I'd already taken care of the makeup artist and assistant in advance. I gathered the heavy skirt and slipped out.
Elena, the bathroom's straight ahead.
The assistant kept pace, so no one in the hallway questioned it. Once inside, I stripped off the gown efficiently and changed into the clothes she'd stashed in her bag. Something light, with sneakers, then opened the window. A black car was parked close by, first floor. I climbed onto the sill and dropped down cleanly. Once in the car, I called Vance. 2 rings, no answer. I frowned. Maybe the venue was too loud. He didn't hear it.
Head to the airport.
The car pulled into traffic. I opened my phone and found the live stream. My fake husband had insisted on broadcasting the ceremony. He wanted the world to see the moment Chloe stepped forward out of love. Lucky for me, that made watching very convenient.
Welcome our bride and groom from both sides!
Both doors opened simultaneously. The right side, where I was supposed to stand, was empty. I laughed. Then I looked at the left side, a shadow, there for just a second. My smile faded.
Vance?
The left side was also empty. The venue erupted. I stared at the screen. 2 minutes later, my fake husband rushed in. He recovered, took the microphone.
Actually, today's bride was never Elena Ashford. The bride I've been waiting for is my true love, Miss Chloe Ashford!
That was when Vance's call came through.
On the way to the airport.
Before I could finish asking, a news alert pushed to my screen. Male family heir confirmed for tonight's high-profile wedding, not a pure human. Reports indicate he is a shifter. I tapped it immediately. A tall, unmistakable silhouette. Comments below. Looks like a snake shifter. Cold-blooded running a corporation. Actually kind of fitting. Something clicked in my mind.
Vance, were you just trying
Crashed the wedding. I swallowed it back.
I'm planning to lay low abroad for a while, until things settle.
I hung up. If Vance wanted to follow, he would. If not, I didn't mind either way. I turned back to the live stream. Total chaos at the venue. Chloe's perfect face was streaked with tears, shaking her head, backing behind my father. Father's face was iron gray.
Where's Elena? Find her!
She's gone too far!
You said you had feelings for me. Her sister was willing to step aside for us, and you can't even—
I have no idea what's going on.
Since my son loves Chloe, why not let Chloe take her place? It's still a happy occasion for both families.
I'd had the foresight to block my parents, the butler, and Chloe before leaving. Even with the groom's mother trying to smooth things over, they couldn't afford to make a scene. My mother went still, then looked at Chloe. Chloe bit her lip. Her voice came out.
No!
What do you mean, no? Were you lying to me this whole time? Don't you have feelings for me?
I don't! You had 3 wives die on you! Why would I ever like you?
Complete chaos. I watched with genuine satisfaction. Then I spotted Ethan, Eric, and Evan in the corner of the frame. Their expressions were something else entirely. At the airport, my phone rang. The fake husband. His voice was hard.
Come back. Marry me. What's your problem?
You're not worth it.
I blocked him, too. Honestly, I'd overlooked him. I hadn't thought he'd be this delusional. I'd been waiting for a while when a shadow fell across me. I smiled without looking up.
You're here.
I raised my eyes. Ethan. I blinked.
What's that face? Disappointed? Who were you expecting?
Vance.
His expression went cold.
You really can't catch a break. He's not coming.
I nodded, kept my face easy. Ethan dropped into the seat beside me.
Didn't expect you to actually pull off an escape.
Don't bother me.
I cut him off. He shut his mouth, bit down on his back teeth. He switched tactics. No cold edge this time.
Where are you going?
Not your business.
Elena.
Where are Eric and Evan?
Ethan's expression changed.
They're blocking Vance, aren't they?
His face went tight. Then I saw him. Vance came through the crowd in long strides, a dried cut at his temple, marks on his neck, something low and dark in the set of his expression. When he reached me, the sharp smell of blood came with him.
Are you okay?
Ethan clenched his jaw.
What did you do to them?
Vance settled behind me, his chin coming to rest on my shoulder, one arm loosely circling my waist, an embrace, cool as winter air.
I'm talking to you.
Vance smiled.
Why?
Something unsettling in it.
Would it make you happy if something happened to them?
I paused. Eric and Evan were Ethan's brothers. Why would their getting hurt make him happy? Ethan's throat moved.
Where are they? No idea. Probably close to dead, though.
Ice went through me. But Ethan, contrary to everything I'd expected, didn't turn and run.
You're both leaving. Together.
Isn't it obvious?
Why are you taking him?
The vein at Ethan's temple stood out.
Are you all right? Chloe gave him to me. I'm his owner.
Then you're still mine.
You all belong to Chloe now. Don't you remember?
You're the one who sent me to her.
Something dark pooled in his eyes.
I heard everything you said in the living room that morning. How much you all liked Chloe. I was doing you a favor. And now you're turning it around on me?
You heard all of that?
I had nothing more to say to him. I pulled Vance by the hand and turned to go. Ethan moved to follow and was stopped by the airport security I'd quietly arranged in advance. Vance sat beside me on the flight. He looked down, long lashes casting a faint shadow across his cheeks.
So, you really were gonna take the groom's place and marry me? You move fast.
After realizing I wasn't there, it slipped out immediately. That brief shadow on the live stream, only I would have recognized it.
Your scent went faint.
Right. The terrifying thing about shifters was their sense of smell, precise and absolute.
I'll be overseas for a while, until the timing is right to come back.
Vance leaned in close. That cool, faint air of his wrapped around me. his lips pressed lightly to the side of my neck. This time, he didn't bite. I almost smiled. They said wolves were canines, bonded hard, but this cold-blooded snake seemed more bonded than any of them. Over the months that followed, the Ashford family fell into disarray. I switched to an overseas number. No one could reach me. Chloe never ended up marrying the man. The two families became enemies. When I returned, my parents had aged. My father spent most of his time in a hospital bed. They couldn't trust the extended family with the company, so they'd given it to Chloe. But under Chloe's management, the group was declining steadily. Then I walked through the door. My mother's hand rose on instinct. She was going to slap me. I stepped back. I smiled.
Are you sure? I'm the only one who can save you now.
Froze midair. I looked over. Chloe had her eyes locked on me, sharp and searching, but she looked nothing like before. The polish was gone. She was frayed, worn down by everything she'd been holding together. I let her too.
Long time no see, little sister.
Tore her gaze away and burst into tears. Chloe had hated her sister since childhood. Why? It started in primary school. Her sister always had people around her, boys and girls, a full crowd. Her sister stood in the middle of them, smiling. Then she noticed Chloe and waved.
Chloe! Come here!
When the others saw Chloe, their expressions shifted to something like wonder. Chloe walked over. Her sister reached into her pocket and pressed a candy into her hand.
I saved this for you. Strawberry, your favorite.
Chloe took it happily. Then one of the girls said,
Elena is so thoughtful. She remembers everyone's favorite.
Chloe's smile went stiff. Why? She was her sister. Why was she this nice to everyone? Shouldn't she save the best of herself for Chloe? Chloe turned and walked away. Behind her, voices floated.
Is that your sister? She's gorgeous. Like a doll. Her eyes are so big. Her skin...
She didn't hear what her sister said back. She turned the corner and dropped the strawberry candy into a trash can. As they got older, Chloe learned something. She was prettier than her sister. Not that her sister was ugly. She was genuinely lovely in a quiet, clean way. But Chloe had inherited every striking feature with perfect precision, head to toe. So the pattern became this. Those who saw Chloe first, then her sister, looked vaguely let down. Those who saw her sister first, then Chloe, looked stunned. Every time this happened, Chloe thought to herself, her sister must be so hurt, so humiliated. When they were teenagers, her sister drew attention. The Ashford family's eldest daughter, graceful enough that boys noticed despite everything. Inevitably, those boys noticed Chloe and redirected. Of course they did. She was brighter, prettier, warmer. Pathetic, shallow idiots. Chloe thought it internally, all contempt. But honestly, if they'd spent more time with her sister, they'd have found out. Her sister was smarter and more interesting than anyone gave her credit for. Too bad they lacked the patience to look past the surface. At that thought, Chloe would feel something almost like pity. Poor thing. No matter how kind her sister was to everyone, people still chose Chloe. She imagined her sister in the dark, seething with jealousy, hating her. Somehow, that thought made the exhaustion of performing warmth all day vanish. Chloe would hum to herself, lighter. Then she met a snake shifter. Tall, striking, almost violently beautiful. She recognized him. Her sister, as a child, had found a half-dead venomous snake and refused to leave it alone. Chloe had screamed at her then.
Get away from it! Are you insane?
Her kind, oblivious sister hadn't listened. She'd nursed the snake back to health. Her sister had probably forgotten all about it. Chloe remembered, so she brought Vance home. She knew why he agreed. He could smell her sister's presence in the house. Traces left from childhood. Here to repay a kindness? What a pity. My sister won't even know who you are. Vance didn't like Chloe, not even a little. And the more he didn't, the more she wanted that to change. It never did. Then her sister called, wanting to trade. Chloe barely thought about it and said yes, good. Let this cold snake see exactly what kind of person her sister is, how she opens her hands for everyone, and how quickly she can close them. As expected, the three wolves took to Chloe almost instantly, but what she hadn't expected, her sister had genuinely forgotten Vance, and yet she still treated him gently, instinctively. Why? After everything that's been done to her, why can't she just stop? A dying snake as a child, a litter of abandoned wolf pups. She picked them all up. Impossible. Infuriating. It was fine. Her sister was about to be forced into a marriage with a man who'd outlasted 3 wives. The pressure would crush her. Would she come crawling to Chloe then? The way Chloe used to visit? Bringing gifts to that small apartment?
Surprise,
playing
sis.
the generous sibling? Would she finally be desperate enough to need Chloe's help? That would be the right choice. Come to her sister, not scatter kindness into the void. Chloe thought about all of it with something close to pleasure, until she realized her sister had played her. I stepped into the role Chloe had been holding, and I was better at it. The group began to stabilize. My father's condition improved somewhat. I mentioned it to Vance, absently, in the top-floor office.
When a sick person suddenly gets better, sometimes it's a last flare of strength before the end.
Vance's pale fingers wound slowly through a strand of my hair.
I see.
Father got worse again. His current condition left him with no real grip on the company. He knew it. I went to visit him.
Sign over whatever shares you have left. All of them.
The man in the hospital bed, frail now, aged past recognition, erupted in fury, but all he could do was cough.
You built this company. Do you want to watch Chloe run it into the ground?
He glared. I smiled.
Give a little now, and I'll make sure she's taken care of. You've already seen what she becomes without me. That's your precious daughter, when you're not watching.
Father, I'm your daughter too. I have your blood. Who better to leave it with?
He stared at me for a long time. Something painful moved behind his eyes. I smiled. Everything was in place. Vance was often with me when I worked. Sometimes, when I'd been absorbed in something too long, a cool, smooth tail would drift over and coil slowly around my waist. Why is he so clingy? I sighed, more fond than exasperated, and stroked a tail in what I hoped was reassuring.
Human form this time, please. Shifter form is genuinely too much for me.
Okay.
I never asked about his other identity, whether he was the heir to some family or the head of some organization, what his name meant in the world outside these walls. I wasn't curious. I only needed him here. That was enough. The way Ethan had once said at the airport.
We actually have our own names.
I don't need to know, and I don't want to.
That had been the end of it. As for the business deals Vance had quietly helped put into motion, I chose not to notice. I simply rewarded him from time to time. Small things, warmly given. Vance had hurt Eric and Evan badly enough that it had taken time for them to recover. By the time they were well, I was gone. They couldn't find me. Eventually, it seemed they'd left the Ashford estate too, until recently.
Director Ashford, there are 3 people downstairs requesting to see you. They say their names are Ethan, Eric, and Evan.
Put them through.
Yes, ma'am.
Elena? You're back in the country?
I am.
Come meet us.
No time. Not interested.
Afraid the snake gets jealous?
His feelings aren't my concern.
But I genuinely can't be bothered to see you.
I'm not your owner anymore.
You are! We never thought of Chloe as our owner! We never touched her either! If you'd wanted, we would have helped you disappear from that wedding a long time ago!
So in your eyes, I'm still your owner.
But in mine, you haven't been worth that in a long time.
Director Ashford, these contracts need your review.
Come in.
I set the pen down.
Before you go, let everyone know, those 3 shifters downstairs are not to be let up. If they come back, have security remove them.
Understood, Director. Also, you have a meeting shortly. What coffee would you like?
Oh, right, the meeting.
I picked up my phone and sent Vance a small emoji, a little pat. Might be home late. Be good and wait for me. Without waiting for a reply, I stood, smoothed the front of my jacket, and walked out.
Actually, no coffee, just water. Tell everyone the conference room.
Of course. Director Ashford.